Good morning and welcome. My name is Pradeep and you're watching my channel The Lazy Wanderer. Welcome to my channel. It's another day. It's a nice bright sunny day in the UK. We have another car review this week. This is the Kia Sorento 2016 model. So let's quickly go ahead and have a look at the car and see what this car has to offer. So let's take a quick look at the exteriors. The front is dominated by Kia's signature tiger nose grille with chrome surrounds and a Kia logo that sits at the center of the grille. These modern design elements make the grille look premium. The double barrel projector type headlamps come with auto function. The KX-2 gets dual halogen bulbs, whereas the higher variants on the 2018 models get full LED headlamps. At the top we have the LED daytime running lights, and on the left we have the turn indicators. Down here we have the auxiliary lamps placed within grey plastic surrounds. Bottom one is the fog lamp and the top is the cornering lamp, which lights up at night when the steering is turned towards the side. The KX-2 also gets front parking sensors. The hood is raised on either side, giving it an aggressive stance. Unlike its cousin the Santa Fe, the Sorento maintains clean and smooth side profile. There is only a subtle line that runs from the side of the hood to the tail lamp. The wing mirrors come integrated with LED turn indicators. A minimalistic black cladding that runs around the car highlights the SUV design. This variant gets roof rails, chrome handles, chrome detailing around the windows, and a chrome strip that runs below the length of the doors. The side profile reminds me of the earlier generation Audi Q7s, but in a good way. It runs on 18-inch diamond cut alloys, running a 235 section 60 profile tires. Kia has taken a very conservative approach towards the rear styling. The wraparound tail lamps extend to the boot. It gets a rear spoiler with a stop lamp and a rear wiper. The design here reminds me of the 2008 model Toyota Fortuner. The elements inside the brake lamps seem to be inspired from the 2013 Audi TT, which is not a bad thing. The boot has the Kia logo, the Sorento and EcoDynamics badging. The rear fog lamps are integrated into the rear bumper. There is also a plastic skid plate at the back. Overall, the rear design is simple and probably the weakest link in the styling of the otherwise good-looking SUV. This one is based on a monocoque platform. It comes with all-wheel drive as standard across the range and should be able to do some light off-roading without any issues. While it loses on some of the off-road capabilities to the previous generation, it gains quite a bit in the other areas. With a move to a more crossover design, this generation gets a good 2780 mm wheelbase of the 4.8 meter length of the vehicle. This means more interior space, as you will see. Before we get into the car, let's check what powers this beast. Opening the hood is easy thanks to the hydraulic struts. The Sorento is powered by a 2.2 litre CRDI oil burner that pumps out 197 bhp and a strong 441 Nm of torque. This one has a 6-speed manual transmission. The all-wheel drive is more front biased and the torque is split 80 to the front and 20 to the rear. It also comes with lockable central differential which splits the torque 50-50 between the front and the rear axles. Let's get inside and check the interiors. So we are inside the 2016 Kia Sorento. As you can see, it's quite a spacious cabin. The dashboard has rubberized finish to it. It looks like leather, but it's not. It's got double stitching, some glossy carbon fiber insert, brushed aluminium garnishing. It goes around the infotainment system. This comes with a leather wrapped steering wheel. All the 7 seats are leather perforated seats. So this car comes with heating for the 5 seats, middle row and the front row. The last row does not get heated seats. So you also have heated steering wheel. Talking about the front seats, they're quite comfortable. They do have some side bolstering. The KX-2 does not come with additional lumbar support. It's fairly comfortable. It does have some side bolstering to it. As you can see, I'm slightly on the fatter side. I still do not fill up the gap on either side. So in case you are used to kind of spirited driving, you might be tossed around a little bit here and there, but overall it's a fairly comfortable seat. It's got some good under thigh support. The driver's seat comes with manual height adjust with a good range. The top variants do get 8-way power seats with memory function. This combined with the fact that the leather wrapped steering wheel that gets tilt and telescopic adjustability means finding a comfortable driving position is an easy job. The KX2 comes with a standard fob with a folding key. These are the lock and unlock buttons, and you'll need to press and hold this button in case you want to unlock just the boot. The higher variants do come with the keyless entry and go. The doors have soft touch plastics, some carbon fiber finish trims, and there is a satin chrome strip that runs below the trim. The door handle and the lock are of the same color. Here we have the power window switch with lock, which is essential when you have kids at the back. This is the door lock unlock button. The power mirror controls with the button to set them to open, close or auto retract. The switches have a tactile and a quality feel to them. The armrest is leather wrapped. Here we have the speaker. We get a bottle holder and a usable door pocket. The lockable glove box can be opened by pressing this button. Notice that the opening of the glove box is not damped, something Kia should have added in its flagship SUV. The glove box is narrow and deep, good enough to carry necessary documents, basic first aid kit and a few spare bulbs. The infotainment system on the KX2 comes with 6 speakers, Bluetooth connectivity and sat-nav, but misses out on modern bits like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. But these can be found on the high variants of the Sorento. The car comes with parking sensors and reversing camera with dynamic guidelines which show up on the infotainment system when the reverse gear is engaged. Down here we have the controls for the dual zone climate control system. You can use the rotary knobs on either side to set different temperatures for the driver and the passenger, or press the sync button to sync the driver's side temperature to the passenger side. The buttons are neatly laid out and self-explanatory. At the top we have the hazard light. This is the seatbelt warning lights for the 6 curtain airbags. The right indicates if the front passenger airbag is on or off. We have the AC on-off buttons, the front and the rear defogger, buttons to control the fan speed, buttons to redirect the air, the rear AC button which is for the third and not the second row. The climate control system uses the infotainment system to display the settings. Then we have the auto button which, once the temperature is set, will basically take care of the airflow, fan speed and the ventilation for you. These small vents clear the area near the mirrors when the front defogger is activated, a feature that is very useful in foggy conditions. Here we have the button for the heated steering and the front seats. The front seat get a 3-step heating while the middle row gets a 2-step heating. This did prove to be a big boon during the cold winter here. The car comes with 3-spoke leather-wrapped heated steering, which may look a bit small at first but is just perfect when driving around. We have the buttons for the audio controls and Bluetooth telephony on the left and cruise control buttons on the right. This is to set and resume the cruise control, the buttons to navigate through the multi-information display menu. These can be used to receive and end calls, and these can be used to toggle the volume and the tracks on the infotainment system. On the left we have the light stalk and on the right we have the wiper stalk. The KX2 comes with auto headlamps and rain sensing wipers too. The instrument cluster follows a clean, simple design with analog meters. We have the tachometer, the speedometer which shows speeds in both miles and kilometers per hour, and the fuel gauge. Here we have the regular telltale lights. Multi-information display sits in between the tachometer and the speedometer. The MID offers a host of information. We can see the distance to empty, the average fuel consumption. This is not completely accurate though. The real world average is around 38 to 40 miles per gallon. This shows the ambient temperature of the cabin, and this one is the odometer. You can see it's run close to 8,000 miles. This part houses the telltale lights for the lights like the indicator, headlamps and the fog lamps. Scrolling down, we have the trip A, which probably was reset when the car was delivered to the owner. Below is the average speed and the time the car has run since it was reset. Scrolling down further, we get the trip B, which shows the same data as it was probably reset at the same time. The last option here is the digital speedometer. The second page shows the navigation. A destination should be set on the sat-nav for this to work. The next screen shows the source selected on the infotainment system, and right now it's on the radio. The fourth page shows the tire pressure monitoring system and the service reminder option. The last is the settings page. First up, you can choose to lock or unlock the boot automatically when the car is switched off or unlocked. Next is the light settings. You can choose to switch on one touch signal. By just pushing the indicator stalk once, the indicator blinks thrice. A very useful feature when you're changing lanes. Enabling the headlamp delay function keeps the headlight on for 60 seconds after the car is locked or unlocked at night. Under sound, we can set the volume for the parking sensors. You can also choose to enable or disable the welcome sound, which plays every time you turn the key to on. Towards the right of the steering wheel, we have the button to turn off the traction control, followed by the button to set the light intensity of the instrument cluster, and lastly the headlamp leveling wheel. The fuel cap can be opened using this button. Below that is the fuse box. The pedals are spaced quite well, and there is also dead pedal. The center console has a covered cubby hole ahead of the gear lever. It's good enough to keep your phone and other knickknacks. We have the USB and the aux in ports for the infotainment system, flanked by two 12-volt sockets on either side. The 6-speed gear knob is leather wrapped and the same satin chrome accents can be seen around it. This is the button to turn on or off the front and the rear parking sensors. This one locks the center differential, which splits the torque 50-50 between the front and rear, something that's useful in slippery conditions or while going off-road. The auto start stop can be deactivated here, and the sports mode can be enabled, which basically makes the steering a bit heavier, which is good on the highways. We have the manual handbrake and two cup holders. Do note that the one on the left is slightly bigger in size. The center armrest is nice and wide, and both the driver and the passenger can rest their arms here quite comfortably. It also houses a storage compartment that is both wide and deep. It also comes with a small tray which can be removed. You probably can fit at least 12 to 15 of these in here with ease. Both the left and the right sun visor come with vanity mirror, ticket holder and a light. This is the mic for your Bluetooth telephony. These are the reading light for the passenger and the driver. This one switches on the cabin light when the door is opened. And you can turn on the cabin lights by pressing this button. These sensors detect passengers to activate airbags in case of collision. The KX-2 comes with auto-dimming rearview mirrors too. Passenger airbag can be switched off using this particular switch. It's located near the left door on the dashboard. So in case you're using a car seat, make sure that the airbag is switched off for your child safety. Let's quickly check the rear seat of the Sorento. The doors close with a reassuring thud. It doesn't feel tinny, so the build quality seems to be good. This car comes with heated rear seat. Controls for these two seats are over here. The control for the power windows, glossy carbon fiber finish, a satin chrome leather wrapping for the handle. You have a place for one little bottle over here and space maybe to put a small magazine or something. So at the back you have a kind of hard plastic around the back of the front seat, and you have a little elastic over here. This is set to my driving position. I'm around 5'10" in height. If you can see, there's lots of space over here, and there's a lot of shoulder room. 3 people can sit here without any problem of shoulder room, and it's got some nice headroom to it too. The seats are very comfortable. Now these can also be reclined. This is a 40-20-40 split seat, so these two seats can be reclined and be moved. So this is the forwardmost position. There is still enough space for my hands to move over here. This seat has got a very good range of movement, so I can push it all the way back as I will do now, and you can see this is very spacious. Apart from that, these are tinted glasses. This car comes with 8 airbags. You have airbags for the passenger and the driver, so those two, and there are 6 curtain airbags. So this car has got 5-star in Euro NCAP rating. The cabin has a certain premium quality to it. This goes against German competitors like the Skoda Kodiaq and the likes. German cars, like you know, are known for their build quality, and this does not exactly feel any lesser than those. Even the material used in most places have got certain premiumness to it. They do not feel cheap. They've got soft touch plastics in many of the points where you have access to touch. It gets a flat floor, and the passenger sitting in the middle seat will have enough legroom, and the AC vent does not hamper with the knee room. It gets ISOFIX mounts on the 2 seats on the middle row, though the center seat misses out on this one. All seats get 3-point seat belts. The center seat gets a headrest that can be pulled up when needed. It houses a center armrest with 3 cup holders. It can also be individually folded down. We have 2 rear AC vents that work with the front AC controls and do not get separate blower settings. You can however control the airflow using this wheel. Down here we have the USB port. Keep in mind that this is only for charging and does not connect to the infotainment system. There's also a 12-volt socket right next to it. The grab rail also gets a coat hook, and this is the light for the middle row. To get into the 3rd row, all I have to do is lift this lever over here, and the seat goes all the way in front, and then you can just climb into the 3rd row. You can just pull this seat back. You do sit with your knees high, so it's not the most comfortable position, but I've traveled in this seat for around I think 4 or 5 hours, and I must say it was not that bad. If you see the seats now, they are pushed a little bit further, so there is enough legroom at the front for all the 3 passengers, and you still have place for these 2 passengers. And compared to most vehicles in its class, this has got a lot of legroom, especially for the 3rd row. You can get in from the right side or the left side. It's easy to get in from the left side because of this lever. It's a 1 lever operation, so you just lift it up and the seat tumbles down. But if you have to get in from the right side, you will first have to move the row all the way in front and then use the seat reclining lever to recline the seat, and then you can get in, but it's fairly easy process once you're coming from the left hand side. The third row gets dedicated AC controls. The AC can be switched on or off from here, and the main AC need not be on for this to work. It also gets a rotary knob to set the blower speed, and each seats get their own AC vents. This portion can be used as an armrest. It gets a cubby hole that can easily hold a smartphone and also gets a cup holder. Both seats get 3-point seat belts. This clip can be used to tuck away the seat belts while not in use so that it does not interfere with the luggage. The middle row does get these two. So let's quickly check the boot space. Let's pop the boot. With all the 3 rows up, keeping in mind that the space it offers on the inside, 142 liters of boot space is actually decent enough. If we lift this cover, we have the toolkit on the right and some more space on the left, and this did turn out to be quite useful during one of our trips when the boot was full. In case you're carrying less than 6 passengers and need additional boot space, pulling these straps will fold the last row, giving you a boot space of 605 liters. We have these hooks for your shopping bags. There are also these hooks in case you want to use a bungee net to keep things from moving around. To free up more space, we can fold the middle row, and you don't need to run around and move the middle seats. Just pull these levers and the middle row will fold down. The middle row gets a 40-20-40 or a 60-40 split option for more versatility. With both rows folded, we get 1662 liters of flat boot space with little to no intrusion from the sides. So let's go for a quick drive and see how this car performs. So this is the 2016 Kia Sorento KX-2. This comes with 2.2 liter diesel with around 197 horsepower. So starting off, the car does have a little bit of turbo lag as it is with any turbo diesel, but it still has a lot of usable power. So even in crawling traffic, you will not have any trouble getting this car off its mark. This car comes with 2 modes. So you have normal and the sport mode. So what these modes basically do is they add a little bit of weight or take it off depending on what mode you select. So in normal mode, the steering is very light, even for a car this size. So it's best to use normal mode in the city. So in case you're driving on the highway or driving on some windy sections, you can go ahead and change the mode to sport, so that adds a bit of weight and gives a bit of sportiness to the steering wheel. That said, it does not alter the mapping of the engine or the gear ratios or the suspension. It is not one of the best handling cars, so that will still be the German cars. But if you want an overall good car that offers good comfort and decent handling, so this is the car to go. Also keep in mind, this car is very spacious. All the 3 rows on this car are usable. As I showed you, even a person as tall as me can sit in the rearmost seats in adequate comfort. So it is not recommended that you travel in the rearmost seat for a long distance, but in case you have to, you won't have too many reasons to complain. In case you're traveling on the highway with 7 passengers and their luggage, this car will have absolutely no trouble lugging the load. The car has got good usable torque. I have actually traveled in this car with all the passenger seats occupied and with their luggage. So I can tell you that the car will not struggle in any way. Even on slightly steep inclines, you will have no trouble driving this car. This car is an all-time all-wheel drive vehicle, so all the 4 wheels are driven. But the torque is split 80-20. 80 is to the front wheels and 20 is to the rear wheel. This car also comes with locking center differential that can lock the torque split to 50-50. Let's quickly park this car. It is fairly easy to park this car, although this is the 7-seater. It comes with the front and rear parking sensors. So to sum it up, with choice of manual or automatic, all UK Spec models come with a 2.2 litre diesel and all-wheel drive as standard. The thirsty diesel engine, though not the most refined or fuel efficient, does offer good performance and tractability. The Sorento offers a spacious cabin with usable 7 seats, good quality interiors, and build quality that comes close to the German rivals. The flexible seating offers good balance between seating and luggage carrying capacity. On the flip side, the boot isn't the best and the suspension is slightly on the stiffer side. But at £35,000 for the KX-2 and Kia's 7-year 100,000 mile warranty, it does make for a good option to consider. So that's it for a quick review of the Kia Sorento 2016 model. This is the KX-2. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. And you can check my videos on my channel. I do upload quite a few videos. You can check those videos. If you like them, you can hit subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please remember to hit the bell notification icon in case you want to be notified the next time I upload a video. Remember to wear your seat belts when you're traveling in the car, regardless of what seat you're sitting in. Remember to at least wear a full face helmet and shoes when you're riding a bike, if not for your safety gear too. So thank you for watching. Take care and God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.